Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to cover how to secure your SSH sessions with an additional two-factor authentication method using Google's two-factor authentication plugin module on Linux. Additionally, we're going to use Google's authenticator or andOTP as our second factor authentication mechanism on our phone. This tutorial is broken into three sections. First, where we download and install the Google 2FA auth plugins, and then where we configure our 2FA and OTP device, and then thirdly where we test our secure access. Again, the free programs used here are PuTTY and andOTP or Google Authenticator. They're both available on the iOS or the Play Store, and the links are in the description below, along with all the commands used in the install and setup of this tutorial. So that's it, let's go ahead and get started. So let's log on to our server via SSH first. This tutorial presumes you have an existing server with SSH set up and ready to go. So if you haven't, you can head over to DigitalOcean using the link in the description to get yourself set up if it's just you want to follow along for demo purposes. So now that we've gone ahead and we've got logged in, the first thing we need to do is we need to download the Google libraries. So we're just going to do an su apt install libpam-google-authenticator. Okay, you can see that it's just installed there. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to do a nano-w etc pam.d sshd, and we're just going to scroll down and we're going to put the following command in here: require pam-google-authenticator.so. So we're basically stating here that the library is required, the Google PAM Authenticator library. And we're just going to Control and X out of here and just save it. So now we're going to edit our etc ssh sshd underscore config file. We're just going to scroll down towards the middle of the file and down to a section where it says challenge response authentication. No, just change this to yes. It's the only change we need to make. Just Control X and save the file. Okay, so on to the next part. We're pretty much done now. We just need to configure it. So we just type Google-authenticator. Okay, it says use time-based authentication, hit yes, and the first thing it does is it produces a QR code and some backup codes. It's important that we save those backup codes for later on, should we not be able to get our authentication device to work, or if we lose our device we've been using for two-factor authentication, we'd be still able to get back into the box after the fact. So as you can see here, we've got our QR code. I'm just going to connect my mobile here. I'm using andOTP to scan the QR code in and add it in. So there you are, you can see it's added the code in. So we should now be able to test and verify. So let's finish the rest of our installer. First we just take a copy of those backup codes and we'll keep them. We'll just save them into Notepad for now. It's just asked me, do you want to update our root Google Authenticator file? Say yes. And say yes for all the other defaults, with the exception of rate limiting, if you don't want to rate limit the connection requests. And that's it. That's the first part of this pretty much done. And we should now be ready to go and give our two-factor auth a test. So let's connect in. We're logged in as root. It's prompted us here for our two-factor code. I'll just unlock my andOTP. I have a password set on it. Okay, so here's our auth code. So we've typed that in there and pressed enter. And it's now prompted us for our normal password. And that's it, we're in. So as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. It's not really complicated. So that's the end of the video. It's a short one today, folks. If you'd like to like and subscribe, that'd be great. See you in the next one.